So, The Palace of Laughter by Jon Berkeley? Berkeley? I don't really know how to pronounce that, sorry. Yeah, before I start this, I'm saying this is so obviously a children's book. You've got the normal format of sort of good versus evil. Everyone on the side of good is very likeable. Almost instantly, you warm to them very quickly. Anybody that's meant to be evil, you very quickly notice them as being evil and you're very much against them from the start. All the people that are annoying are very clearly annoying. Like, everybody very clearly fits into their categories. There's no grey area, everything is very black and white. And they also throw in like a magical talking wise tiger to kind of make sure you really know that this is a children's book. But so if you're sort of someone that doesn't want to read something that's quite like that, don't pick it up, because you will be disappointed. There's not much depth or degree of character development. There's no sort of rich plot twists or anything like that. Everything's very sort of simple and interesting. How do I put this? Sorry, I can't use words today for some reason. Very simple but interestingly done. That's what I wanted to say. So interesting was the right word. Yeah, predominantly there was a few twists and turns. Everything was mainly predictable, but there was bits and pieces that I didn't see coming because they weren't clearly in the story and there was sort of another obstacle. The obstacles were surprises, but the actual format of the story didn't shock me. That's what I'm trying to get at. But it's a nice book. It's if you want to sort of feel sort of magically back in your childhood, it's a good book to read. If you need to find a book to buy for a child, when I say child, I would say anything from the age of about 7 to 11, maybe even 6 to 11, would kind of enjoy this book. It has the sort of magical feel and quality to it, and obviously as it's because it's about sort of a circus and an adventure and talking animals and angels, it kind of really fits in with sort of a kid kind of genre. It was also, Jon Berkeley is also an illustrator, so that kind of came across the whole way through the book in his way he described things and things like that. He obviously has an idea about the way things should look like a picture, if that makes sense. I'm going to put this down because I feel like I just keep playing with it. But to give a quick plot synopsis of the book, it's about an orphan called Miles. I'm saying Miles now, I have no idea. I've forgotten the name of the child. Miles Wednesday. Sorry, I was right. So it's a book. Let's start this again. So the book is about an orphan called Miles who ran away from the orphanage because he did not like it there. But that's not the point of the story. That's just a thing that happened beforehand. And he's been living in a barrel. And he loves it when the circus comes to town. One night the circus comes to town and a tiger starts talking to him in his barrel, and then he goes to the actual circus. The tiger's like, you've got circus blood within you. And then he goes to the circus and he sees a little girl named Little, and she looks like she's about to fall, and so he rushes out to save her, and from them they kind of form a friendship and kind of goes from there. They have to go on an adventure because some of her friends from the circus and then one of his friends end up getting taken by the circus and go to this place called the Palace of Laughter. Yes, the Palace of Laughter is the name of the book, and that kind of becomes a thing, and so they're going on this adventure to kind of get them back. And it's very, sort of, as I said, it's quite simplistic format, but it's very enjoyable. The characters are nice, heartwarming felt characters. They're obviously children's characters, the fact they're quite two-dimensional. None of them were that complex to get to grips with, but they were still nice characters. It was quite nice just to read a book about good triumphing over evil and sort of magicalness about it all. And it's kind of like about laughter and happiness and song of the world and things being connected. And it's just a really nice concept and plot, and everything about it was just really pleasant. I know nice and pleasant aren't really good words to use, but I feel like they're the best way to describe this book. It just felt kind of heartwarming. It was really easy to read. I pretty much did it within a day. So it kind of it felt like that, and I feel like if I read this as a book as a child, I would have really warmed to it. And actually, I don't know if I would have really warmed to it. I liked really depressing books as a child, and it's not that depressing. But I feel like if I was a normal child in my reading taste, I would have really enjoyed this book. It felt a bit like the Lemony Snicket series. It had a similar sort of writing style to it. It was a bit like The Faraway Tree met up with the Lemony Snicket series. If anyone's read either of those books, then that combination will make sense. That's kind of what it reminded me of a little bit, because it had the magical elements of an Enid Blyton book, but then it still had the sort of depressing elements and writing style of the Lemony Snicket books. That's what I felt the best combination is. It's a really nice, pleasant book, and I hate using those words, but that's how I feel like I could sum it up. I would give this book a 7 out of 10, possibly a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think I was the right age range of target audience. I should have read this a long time ago when I actually got it, because I think I actually got this book when I was 11, so it's been on my TBR pile for 8 years. So that shows you how big my TBR pile is. I actually looked the other day and realised I have read 20 books more than the size of my TBR pile. So I think my TBR pile at the moment currently stands at 141 books. And that's not including the books I want to buy. So that's an issue that I'll come to at a later point. But it was a really, back to the actual point of this, it was a really pleasant book. I definitely would recommend it to any younger readers or anybody that wants to sort of recapture the magicalness of their childhood, because it will be a really quick book for you to read, and it will leave you feeling sort of warm and pleasant afterwards. Okay, if anybody else has read The Palace of Laughter and has an opinion of it, please let me know, because I would be interested to read through it and see what people think in the comments. If you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. I'm still intrigued. But otherwise, I hope you're all having a nice time, and I shall see you again soon.